Hello there, friends. It's Miss Holmes here, coming to you from my happy place, my beautiful kindergarten classroom, room C2, right here at Jack London Elementary School, also known as home of the cutest little class in town. Now, before I share another Thanksgiving treat for you today, I'd just like to remind you, friends, I still need your help and support. I still need you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so now. Just push that subscribe button below. It's completely free. And by doing that, you will help me and support me so I can continue to record all these amazing books for you right here on Storytime with Miss Holmes and share them with lovers of literature everywhere, from littles to bigs alike. The story I'm excited to share now is titled, Turkey Goes to School? What? And this book is written by Wendi Silvano, and it's illustrated by Harper. Now remember, friends, I always teach my students, before we open up a new book to read what's inside, we turn it over on the back first to see, has the author left us a sneak peek? And yes, the author has. It says, school is starting soon, and Turkey can't wait. Each day, he and his barnyard friends practice their writing and math. But when the school bus rolls up, they're booted off. Turns out that animals aren't allowed to attend school. Pig calls it hogwash, and Turkey agrees. All he has to do is find a way to show the students and the principal that turkeys and their friends do belong in school, with a gobble gobble here and a gobble gobble there, and a few clever costumes. He just might. So let's see. Can Turkey convince everyone he belongs at school with his barnyard friends? Let's read it together. Turkey goes to school, and here he is dreaming about things he might do at school. You can see he's dreaming, like painting, like working at his desk, like writing his own name. It says Turkey. Turkey Goes to School by Wendi Silvano and illustrated by Harper. The first day of school was fast approaching. Max and Millie were super excited. And so were the animals on Farmer Joe's farm, especially since the first week's theme was Farm Days. They were certain they would be invited. Stories and counting, singing and painting, said Turkey. It all sounds so fun. I can't wait to go. Each day, Turkey got his pals to practice their school skills so they would be ready. They wrote their names. Oh, there's Rooster writing their name. They counted corn kernels. They read stories. And they even tried out recess games. But when the big day came, they were booted off the bus. Critters aren't allowed at school, said Millie. You need to stay at the farm. Gobble, gobble, groaned Turkey. We just have to go to school. We can't miss out on all that fun. Well then, said Horse, let's giddy up and go. Oh, so they hopped in a truck and the farm animals are taking themselves to school. When the animals arrived, the teachers were talking, children were chasing, and parents were taking pictures. Oh, it's too bad. Critters aren't allowed in class, said Sheep. It's total hogwash, grunted Pig. Turkey, why don't we team up to sneak you in, and then maybe you can get us in. Gobbledy, good idea, said Turkey. I think I know just what to do. No one will notice an extra backpack in the bunch. So Turkey's going to try to disguise himself as a backpack to sneak into school? Let's see if this works. His costume wasn't bad. There he is. Pig's backpack. In fact, Turkey looked just like a backpack. Almost. Totally foolish, Turkey, said Max. Critters aren't allowed at school. Now pack it up and head back to the farm. Gobble, gobble, moaned Turkey. I've got to find a way in. Rooster peeked in the window. They're starting story time. A book disguise might just doodle-doodle-do, he said. And Turkey agreed. His costume wasn't bad. In fact, Turkey looked just like a book. Almost. We'll create a little distraction out here while you book it inside, said the sheep. This turkey's going to try plan B, dressed up as a book. The backpack didn't work. Will the book? Let's see. Turkey stayed quiet and still during the story. Can we read the next one? Asked a girl, pointing right at Turkey. The teacher looked. That's no book, Turkey. I'm paging the principal. Critters aren't allowed at school. You're bound for the farm. Plan B didn't work either. Turkey bolted outside. Gobble, gobble, he howled. I need a better disguise. It's almost recess, said the horse. Maybe it's a good chance to blend in with the group. Score, said Turkey. A ball is sure to get in the game. Oh, so now he's going to try to disguise himself as a ball to play in a game at recess. Okay. His costume wasn't bad. In fact, Turkey looked just like a soccer ball. Almost. The kids were running out to the playground. Horse bucked Turkey up into the air. There goes the ball, right, Turkey? And Cow head-butted him into the middle of the crowd. Goal! Cool, jumbo soccer, cried a boy. Turkey was dizzy and dinged. He teetered and tottered right into Millie. I call a foul, cried Millie. Turkeys aren't allowed at school. Roll on home. Gobble, 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 grumbled Turkey. How am I ever going to get inside? Maybe you can move as a lunch lady in the cafeteria, said Cow. Brilliant, said Turkey. His costume wasn't bad. In fact, Turkey looked just like a lunch lady. Almost. Pig pilfered a cart filled with food. Turkey pushed it right into the serving line and began to parcel out pizza. They're trying to blend in with the lunch lady there. Will this plan work? Cheese, Turkey, hollered the head lunch lady. No one is swallowing that disguise. Critters aren't allowed at school. Out, out, out. Turkey trudged outside. I just don't get it, squawked Rooster. It's farm days. We should be in front and center. That's it, cried Turkey. I have the perfect plan. The principal poked her head in the classroom. You have special guest visitors for farm days, she said. Oh, she's explaining to the teacher. Farmer Jake and his animals are going to sing a song with you. Oh, there's Farmer Jake and his animals. That looks suspiciously a lot like Turkey. Turkey and his pals walked to the front of the classroom. Turkey sang out. Farmer Jake, he had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm, he had a turkey, E-I-E-I-O. With a gobble, gobble here and a gobble, gobble there. Here, gobble, there, gobble, everywhere, gobble, gobble. The children cheered. Can we sing some more? Millie asked. She looked at the teacher hopefully, and so did Turkey and his pals. They're all looking at the teacher. Critters still aren't allowed at school, but I suppose they can be our special farm guests this afternoon. Yes. So Turkey and his pals stayed, and it was a farm-tastic first and last day of school. Having a blast with everyone at school, just like they had hoped. And then that night, Turkey dreams and remembers all the fun things he did at school. That was adorable. I hope you love Turkey Goes to School. Thanks for reading that with me today, friends. And stay tuned for many more Thanksgiving treasures all this month of November here on Storytime with Ms. Holmes.